Alright, good afternoon everybody, it's your boy Akeem and welcome to today's vlog. Here to talk about the AFC East Division and give you my draft grades from their picks for the 2013 NFL Draft. Now I'm going to start things off with the Miami Dolphins. Actually had to trade up with their first selection and they picked up Dion Jordan, the outside linebacker slash defensive end out of Oregon. I think he could be a good dominant rusher opposite of Cameron Wake. I did like this selection. Some people kind of question it because Miami desperately needs a good offensive tackle. They no longer have Jake Long. He is now with the St. Louis Rams, and they needed to pick up a good offensive tackle, and they had an opportunity to grab Lane Johnson out of Oklahoma, but I thought he would be a little bit too much of a reach at number 3, and Dion Jordan is a much better prospect than Lane Johnson overall. This is my opinion. At the second round, they picked up a good defensive back out of Boise State and Jamar Taylor. I think he's a great cover corner and who has playmaking ability. And also in the third round, they picked up another cornerback out of Utah State and Will Davis. I think he's a good cover corner. Well, he will have to work his way to become a starter for the Miami Dolphins. Also, in the third round, they picked up a decent lineman out of Tennessee and Dallas Thomas. Raw, good intangibles. I think he could be played the tackle position, but I think a lot of people believe that he's going to convert as a guard. And like I said, they could have picked up an offensive tackle. I think they should have picked up an offensive tackle later on in the draft, but they did not. A true offensive tackle. In the fourth round, they picked up a good tight end out of Michigan State and Deion Sims. Anthony Fasano's no longer with the team, but they have Dustin Keller, and I think that Sims and Keller could work together in double tight end sets. And in the later rounds, they picked up a couple of Florida players, and Mike Gillespie, the running back. He's a decent workhorse. He would definitely get the ball, especially in third down situations. And they also picked up one of the best kickers, and Caleb Sturgis. I think this was a great upgrade, a great pick for the Miami Dolphins. So overall for this selections, I'm gonna have to give them a B+. I think they've had a good draft overall. Yes, they needed an offensive tackle, but they picked up good players defensively, particularly at the cornerbacks in the second and third round, and I did like the Dion Jordan jump at number 3. Next team we need to talk about is the New England Patriots. I think they had a decent draft overall. They actually traded their first round selection to pick up more picks in this year's draft. So their first pick came in the second round, and they picked up a good outside linebacker in Jamie Collins. He reminds me a little bit of Mike Vrabel because he has great versatility, just like Big Mike. He had a great career for the New England Patriots, and I think that Belichick selected him to resemble and have a good hybrid as Mike Vrabel. I did like this picture a lot. And in the second round, they picked up another second round pick in Aaron Dobson out of Marshall. I think because of Randy Moss, they picked up a good player, another good player from Marshall. Great hands, and he made some great YouTube plays especially in this past season when he made that behind the back one-handed touchdown grab, in which it did make the top play in ESPN top plays. Also, they picked up a decent receiver out of TCU in the fourth round, and Josh Boyce. He's smart, good hands, and he has good route running ability. But the problem with these two receivers is that they're a little bit too much of a project. Not too much of a project, but they are projects for Tom Brady. Tom Brady is not getting much younger. He's getting older, and I think they should have picked up more experienced, better receivers who are less of projects for Tom Brady. But we will see. Belichick does have a couple of tricks up his sleeve. Now, the remaining picks, they picked up mediocre players on defense, and because of that, I'm going to have to give the New England Patriots a B- for their efforts in this year's draft. Next team we need to talk about is the New York Jets. I know a lot of people will disagree with me with my grade for their picks. Starting with their first round selection at number 9, they picked up D. Milliner, the cornerback out of Alabama, to replace Darrelle Revis. Now, they really wanted Tavon Austin out of West Virginia, but St. Louis actually jumped one pick ahead of him and stole Tavon Austin from the New York Jets, but they had a good cover-up in D. Milliner. I do like him a lot. And they had another first-round selection at number 13 in Sheldon Richardson. Some people scratched their heads with that and questioned that pick, but I do like this pick a lot. I think he's a great defensive tackle who will help out the D-line for the New York Jets. In the second round, they picked up one of the biggest talk in the NFL draft. They picked up Geno Smith out of West Virginia. A lot of people, including myself, was shocked that teams did not pick him in the first round. And I think this could be a decent steal, a good snag for them for the Jets. This is going to be a good quarterback competition between him and starter for now and Mark Sanchez. I think Geno Smith can earn his way at the starting position. Now, in the later rounds, they picked up a couple of good offensive linemen, particularly at the guard position, 3 guards back to back. And I do like the pick of Brian Winters out of Kent State. He was a good run blocker and helped out 2 1,000-yard rushers, and Dree Archer and Trayon Durham. They had 2,000-yard rushers for the Golden Flashers, and it was mainly because of Brian Winters' efforts. And I think he would be a great fit for the offensive line to help out the running game for the New York Jets. Now, overall for the selections, I believe I'm going to have to give them a B+. I know a lot of you guys are going to disagree with me on this one, but I did like their picks a lot. Even though they did not pick up Tavon Austin, they picked up 2 good defensive players and good players on the offensive line to upgrade that, particularly helping out the run game with Brian Winters. So I'm going to have to give them a B+. I know I'll be ready for the disagreements, but I'll just bring it on to me. I don't care. Next team we need to talk about is last but not least, is the Buffalo Bills. Overall, shockingly enough, I kind of like their picks, except for the first selection. They went with E.J. Manuel out of Florida State. Everybody was shocked with that one, and I know most people definitely disagree with this pick, but Coach Dave Maroon sees something in E.J. Manuel more than the other quarterbacks, and he was the first quarterback taken and the only quarterback taken in the first round. Dave Maroon has a lot of faith in E.J. Manuel because he has more experience, the most experience between him and Geno Smith under the center in pro-style offenses, and I kind of see why he went with E.J. Manuel. Yes, he is a project. He's going to have to work his way up, but I think he'd be a good, decent quarterback for the Buffalo Bills in the upcoming seasons. I kind of see why Coach Maroon went with E.J. Manuel. Now, they picked up a couple of good receivers in the later rounds. In the second round, they picked up Robert Woods out of USC. I think this was a great pick to work well opposite of Steve Johnson. Steve Johnson will have more one-on-one opportunities, and I think that Robert Woods is a great team player, and he did break a couple of USC receiving marks in his career as a Trojan. And also, they picked up a good speedster, a track star, and Marquise Goodwin from my Texas Longhorns. He has great speed, runs a 4.25 40. I like this pick a lot, and he would definitely be a good help in the special teams category as a return specialist. They picked him up in the third round. Going back to the second round, they picked up a decent linebacker in Kiko Alonso out of Oregon. I like this pick. I think he can help out the linebackers. I kind of wish, though, they picked up more linebackers in this with the draft selections, but they still picked up a decent one in Alonso. I like this pick a lot. Now, overall for this team, I'm going to give them a solid B for their efforts. I disagree with the E.J. Manuel pick, but at the same time, I respect that selection, so I'm going to have to give them a B overall. We will see how he will produce in the National Football League. Hopefully, this is not a win or lose job for Dave Maroon with his first draft this season. So I'm going to give him a B overall. Now, the next time I'm going to catch you guys is tomorrow, where I will give you my grades of the AFC West Division. Thank you for watching today's blog. I'm your man, Akeem McCall. Beatings.